the first thing I think that's very interesting, I think, Lawrence, you touched on the issue of the Caribbean perspective and how this is that you open your presentation with elements of colonialism, which I think is really interesting. We did a session, an internal session for our staff on some diversity issues, and indeed, the conversation shifted to colonialism, and that tells me something interesting, that the diversity conversation has cultural specificities, and that's a challenge for us at Global Affairs Canada, where we, of course, this is an organizational priority, but for this to be meaningful and effective to each of our embassies around the world, we need to understand the local context. Thank you for that, Lawrence. I may knock on your door to understand that better. The other thing I thought that was interesting, and this is something that occurred to me, is that it's a little bit what Indu just mentioned, that there are different levels of engagement here. I think for me, the most important level is the personal level, because a lot of this is about values. And yes, a lot of this is about what you experience in the workplace or outside the workplace. But I get the impression that for most Trinbagonians, family comes first. And that makes sense. That's true around the world, of course. And if being who you are means you don't get your family, that is an incredibly, unbelievably high price to pay. I have two cousins who are gay, and we would meet. They're live in other parts of Canada and the U.S., so we'd meet once every few years at family weddings. And we discovered in due course that these two individuals were gay, and one got the love and support he needed from his family, and the other one less so. And we could see the impact it was having on our cousins, and that was really heartbreaking. And for most of us, like, these are the guys we knew when they were like just kids, and they're still those people. So that, and then I hope that broke some stereotypes, and the other aspect, of course, is the organizational aspect, which I think we're talking about a lot, which is, of course, very, very important. And there is a role for leadership in the organization, and fundamentally the role of the government and its leadership in setting the tone for the nation of, this is what is valuable, this is who it means to be Canadian or Trinbagonian or Jamaican or whatever it may be. And then it stems from there. I should say, by the way, kudos to Scotiabank. I wanted to mention that I met a couple of individuals who are gay, and they bank at Scotia, and they were just besides themselves with the support they're getting in that context. So I would say that it makes good economic sense, clearly, and that also connects the migration element. I think that having a good number of committed, hardworking, I would say educated at various levels of migrants, that has been very important to Canada, and I know it's important to Trinidad and Tobago. And they contribute to society, absolutely, them and their families in the short, medium, and long term. So those are my immediate observations. So thank you once again for a very, very interesting discussion.